Bun.
Oh.
Hello, everybody. I still had to get some water.
Hello, world.
I
Oh,
got
hello. Welcome
Nanotopia,
back to the Streamerino.
Iron Widow,
Streameroni.
and what was the last one? The Dragonflight of Pern.
So
Hell yeah.
I'm trying to solve a world-building quote-unquote problem.
Oh.
Oh no.
So basically, I have
Yeah.
I want to do a thing that's extremely illegal in fantasy map making.
Oh.
And that is have like a river that is basically originates in the sea. Right?
Just do England.
No,
Just
that
do England.
illegal?
Just recreate England.
No, it is illegal because it doesn't happen in the real world, really, per se. I don't believe.
Netherlands.
What do you...
No, like you have like you have a river that originates in one sea and goes to empties out to another. It's something that
okay.
happens in like a lot of shitty fantasy maps have that kind of thing going on, and I want to do that on purpose.
Okay.
You could do it and make it an artificial channel.
No, I don't want it to be a canal, especially because it's like very, very long. It has to be a natural river. There is a canal in this setting already, and it's
if
very
that's
short.
the case,
Here are the facts, right? The sea from whence it originates. So first of all, this is all happening on like similar sort of latitude, horizontally similarly, right?
Okay.
It originates in a sea
so it's
that
a
is
pretty flat plain.
not just as no, that's not what I said. On the map, it goes from like east to west, basically, not much from north to south. There is not much variation north to south, but it goes east to west, basically, mainly, right? The sea from whence it originates is very, very cold, but also not, because it has underneath it hot springs, like extremely hot steam vents underneath the surface of the sea. It's pretty shallow, so there's a lot of islands, but it's just this also means that the whole region of the world is there's always fog going on because obviously
Because the heat and the cold, yeah.
yeah, the cold air cannot hold all that moisture. This is where it originates, and then it just moves west for like almost 4,000 kilometers, which is like pretty long.
Yeah.
So here's my thing.
Is it like the same like width the whole time? Does it like taper off?
No, but yes. Like it varies, but not as much as a traditional river would. So it already starts off pretty big. So in order for it to be a river that has flow, it needs to have, a slope. Sea level is different depending on what sea you are at. It's pretty much relative all over the world. I kind of need to better understand why this is, because it's dependent on like a multitude of factors. I'm fine with the slope being not too much, but I feel like I need to understand how rivers work, like what creates river flow most effectively, in order to gain an understanding of what is, legal, to get back to the legality issue in terms of how a river can flow from there. I'm fine with the river having very slow flow because it's supposed to be a major trade artery flowing through the frigid north. But yeah.
Well, even a very small incline.
Yeah.
Depending on like, because you said it was like 4,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
It can get faster just with like a 1 degree slant. The longer it goes, depending on what's there, if there's no like dams or like anything that's stopping it up.
Would it be tidal?
So,
so you know how like the moon works, right?
Yeah.
I've heard about it. I've never seen it.
If you had the moon tidally locked, because presumably this is a fictional world as well, so you can kind of change the the astronomics of the setting.
Yeah.
You can have 2 moons.
If you had a moon or some kind of body that was like large enough that's locked so that its rotation around the Earth, around the planet, was the same as the spin of the planet, so that the moon was always over the same point.
Yeah.
The gravitational pull from that could potentially facilitate such things.
That
Yeah,
is
man,
true.
gravity.
I had not considered this particular scenario. However, this is happening like at not in like a stable orbit essentially, but very far to the north, right? So it's not equatorial. So it would have a number of consequences. But I actually like this idea. I feel like the various factors, like for instance, also like the pressure from the numerous steam vents from down below might also make it so the that naturally would make the sea level rise.
It would make it, yeah.
Because it would just be warmer than the surrounding sea level. Yeah. And then there would probably be like a lot of shit going on and where it does actually meet the sea. I feel like a total incline of maybe 5 to 10 meters across the entire. Let's look up rivers. Let's actually watch Posh playing and then.
Would you?
Yes.
Would you? Fuck. What was I gonna say? Could you justify it being like an old man-made river?
It's not a man-made river at all. It's a natural river.
So you want it to be natural, fair. Fine. I was gonna have a cool idea.
There is a whole thing with a. I'm trying to not do the same thing several times, basically, because I also have, not even that far away from this particular natural feature, sort of a big fuck-off lake that's pretty high up and has waterfalls going down to a completely different sea. And also this river that I have here, it splits, which is also... That is actually something that happens in the real world. It's just not...
Rivers do in fact split.
Yeah, it's just something that happens very rarely. That's also one of those like, oh, this is fucking, you shouldn't have that because it doesn't happen, but it does happen.
Are you just making this map to like spit in people's faces?
No.
Specifically to spite like the actually people.
I mean, yes, but a lot of things that I do.
That's just a personality trait.
What else? If there's heavier rainfall on one side, that could provide like a temporary incline. Which could be provided if the surface area and the kind of the air of the higher altitude part is colder. So if the top of the river,
they're the same like cold because they're the same latitude, right? So there's
but there's cold is also it's not just depend like in terms of solar radiation, yes.
A good example is the UK being the same temperature as not its equivalent in Canada.
Yeah,
that's true.
I feel like there would be a very different set of factors because this the steamy sea is sort of obviously warmed by its hot water that it has, right?
Yeah.
The river mouth, which actually is like I need to have it somewhat fertile, because it is like one of the major world trade capitals. Like it's the second largest city in the world.
Basically. Oh, so there's lots of
yeah
business pollution and stuff too.
Well, no, I mean that'll be at the river mouth. That doesn't really matter all that much for the geography of the river itself. It just matters that's like where the river ends, and so because this river goes to all the northern regions that are not like ice cold northern, but like cold northern.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that
Okay.
steamy area would be similarly warm, actually, for different reasons, or maybe even a little warmer.
I suppose you could probably just justify the wind direction with Coriolis and say like the way the world spins, and people would just be happy with that. But as long as winds are
If you're
blowing
asking about the
towards,
direction of the wind, you are not into the story.
No, but the wind, because it's at the same fucking. I always forget what longitude and latitude is, which is which, because they're both long, they're both lat.
They are very long.
Yeah. Because it's like horizontal, the Coriolis effect would actually be rather similar for all of them, and like an idealized wind pattern. But like the Steam Sea is, aside from itself, and like the large ocean to the north, and the sort of Arctic Ocean, somewhat landlocked. Yeah, it's I have a really shitty sort of proto map of this. That's not actually ultimately the map that I'm gonna go with, but
the reason I'm asking this is that if rainfall is heavier on one side than the other, that would cause flow from one to the other.
I mean, yes, that's true. This river. You see that river in the northern bit that does not connect to that sea up there? Imagine that it does connect. Yeah, this is like extremely. This is oversimplified to an extent that it's like laughable.
I mean this in the nicest way possible, but if you rotate your head 90 degrees, the northern island looks like a minion, not a minion,
Among Us.
an Among Us with a cock.
Why would you say that?
That's like a terrible idea, bruv.
Hell yeah, dude.
Shit, wandering vagrants.
Pretty sus, dude. Yeah, that's kind of. I've been debating this for a while, like how that would work. But you see, like the other lake to the right of that one, which I want to connect to the sea, which is supposed to be pretty high up. I want to connect to the sea via like big ass waterfalls. I might genuinely actually put that sort of Steam Sea much farther north. That is something that I might end up doing. Simply because it just feels climatically different, but climate is like complicated and shit. And
It is.
yeah. They're supposed to mainly subsist off like sea shit. I see. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up putting that one farther up north, which I suppose doesn't actually help me with the sea level because I would benefit less from the Coriolis of Earth's spin lifting the sea up a little bit. Because I do believe that the sea level is just because of that a bit higher at the equator.
Hey.
Yes, it is.
Hello, who joined?
So that doesn't really help me much.
Michael.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
Okay, I'm still trying to find out which.
To be honest, this kind of reminds me more, like visually more of two islands with just sea in the middle. Like two very nearby islands.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just this is actually so what's happening here is kind of these are huge continents. Well, they're not huge continents. They're like combined probably the size of Eurasia, which is, it's pretty big still. But what's happening basically is that like two tectonic plates are pulling apart.
Okay.
That could also explain the existence of the river itself.
I mean, some things are just gonna be magic, like certain things. I mean, I just
Even magic.
there's gonna be a point where I hand wave shit, but it's not this one because I'm trying to make things complicated for myself. Also,
It's not the water level.
Also, I'm trying to help me understand the shit that I study in my classes more. Because I've had like we're doing climate science right now, and it's a bit like. I posted about this earlier this week when I was trying to find out I was trying to understand how the global climate system functions, wind pressure type shit, Coriolis, and I had all of the individual elements in place that I understood, but I didn't fit together, and I found that very frustrating. But then a couple hours later, I did understand it suddenly. Yeah.
I was in a phone call with grandma, and I decided to call my other grandma, and I pitted liberal grandma versus conservative grandma. So
What would
I
you
had
do
a lot
now?
of fun before now.
So
Did they fight to the death?
Yeah.
The grandma.
You know, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, and they were just the best of buds.
no.
And there's an open border, and migrants are currently taking over our country. And it's like, I literally live on the border. I don't see any problems. It's like, you just don't know.
I love that
It was
Jeffrey
just a
Epstein
good
has
time.
become like a Trump voter issue because it's like that seems so engineered. You know what I mean? That seems just so. It's very convenient that this is associated with just insane conspiracy nutters, even though it's just objectively completely true.
Yo,
Hello.
Yo, who
Yo.
this boy?
hi, I'm here coming at you from fucking southern Germany.
That's
Oh,
disgusting,
no.
dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, how could you? In front of my salad?
In front
Yeah,
of my
sir, man.
salad.
I have a friend who's currently there right now.
I'm probably feedbacking like shit, so let me just set up my earphones.
Why are you in
What is
southern
it?
Germany, though? What's the fucking reason for this?
Physics.
Oh,
I mean, I assume
poor
you
bastard.
utilized physics to arrive at this location somehow. But
What
what
brings
is
you
the metaphysically? What is the reason why?
Physics.
Yeah, no, but listen here, you little
Yes,
shit.
but no.
Listen here, you little shit.
What is it?
Is there like a conference?
No, the nucleus experiment is currently based out of Munich, and I work on that.
This Munich of all
So,
places.
yeah.
It's like that's the worst part of southern Germany.
Fucking Munich. The fuck goes on in Munich?
It's
Honestly, it's pretty alright.
Oktoberfest.
I have just come in from a walk.
Oh, yeah?
Hey,
We're
to be
from-
fair, Munich might be the least
And,
racist part
yeah,
of that
it's
particular,
pretty right.
the southern
Pretty right.
section of Bavaria, but only because it's a city.
Oh.
Not for
you have to
any
really
other-
go quite niche to find a good thing to say about it, though. It's not
Yeah.
even Bavaria, not even Germany. It's just a specific part of southern.
It's the least racist area of that particular section of that area.
True. Also, in case
What is it?
you're all wondering, which probably not. There you go. Don't fuck the mountain, yeah.
Fuck it up this time, Junior.
Nucleusexperiment.org. This is going to be some secret supervillain type shit, isn't it?
Kind
The
of.
thing is, it is actually
Yeah,
quite
yeah, yeah.
convenient because
Yeah, I mean,
it's not
we
that far
are
away
in,
from
we-
Nuremberg, where we can send him when we're done.
yeah,
Nucleus
also, I don't know
is
if
an
you heard about
experiment
it.
that studies neutrinos, elusive elementary particles with several properties still to be discovered. Recently, a new interaction of neutrinos with atomic nuclei has been observed, the so-called coherent elastic neutrino nucleus scattering, predicted by theory in 1947. Was there even any Russians alive in 1974 who could have written that theory? That's because I don't think if the guy who wrote it was not a dead Russian, then I feel like it's not theory actually. It's not valid shit. Yeah, you're going neutrino hunting, basically.
Yeah, but in a special way because we're not like all the other neutrino experiments.
In which way are you
And-
different?
We don't use sensible interactions that are easy to see. We use literally the second most difficult interaction to see, which is like essentially the second lowest energy interaction in all of physics if you discount like things that can go arbitrarily low, like photons and stuff
So
like
it
that.
sounds to me like is no, we're not like the other ones. We do it. We're stupid though.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
stupid. Basically, is what we're saying.
Yes,
Damn.
but
We make
also
life harder.
is the one that works the best. So basically, our detector, which is 10 grams, is equivalent to a detector of the size of 100 kilograms of any other kind of interaction, essentially.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
What
it's
is
more
it?
like we don't do these things because they're easy. We do them because they're hard type situation.
Yeah, sort of, and because
Okay.
it tells
We
more
do them
information
because
about
no one
other
else
shit as
does
well.
it.
Yeah.
Well, the joke is that you'll like have a breakthrough, and then like Big Oil will just cut you guys a check, and it'll just disappear.
Oh no, you don't get it. You don't get it. Like this is already a thing being investigated, not by big oil, but by big nuclear. Because in theory, with our shit, you should be able to see like the neutrinos emitted by like radioactive material inside of the ground from very far away.
Yeah. Oh, so you could just
So if you can
find uranium and shit
yeah,
better. You could do scanners.
you could theoretically put them in a satellite and then look down from there and just see where the uranium is from a satellite.
I mean,
As
probably
well as,
also
the
if you
nuclear
can, like, if different nuclear materials, or like even if you, okay, so most
No, but like
materials are
also,
radioactive to some extent, right?
yeah,
So if you could, if they,
yeah, but it's a specific kind of radioactivity which is
okay.
beta decays and at a certain rate essentially because you
So
need to
we're
have a
not getting
certain
like planetary resource scanners from this, is what you're saying.
yeah
Why
only
do it
for
then?
uranium.
Beta
Only for,
decays for
well,
beta
okay.
males.
There's another field which tends to make research kind of disappear. That is very interested because this, well, it allows you to look inside of without going inside of the nuclear reactors. It allows you to look inside of the nuclear reactor fuel and see what the nuclear reactor is burning, which means you can essentially monitor people's or nations' nuclear reactors and their nuclear programs from like outside.
Damn.
We could have used that for
There's a paper.
Iran, man. We could have used it for Iran.
There's a let me just say that there is a paper uh, that is written by one of the theorists of my field that was published on the research on the like scientific publication called the Research and Defense. That's all you
Ah.
That's all you need to know. And it outlines and it explains how we could use one of our type of detectors, but not exactly. But basically, a theoretical detector to essentially look into what the fuck North Korea is doing with their nuclear reactors by parking a truck on the other side of the North Korea South Korea border and like waiting for a few weeks.
Jesus, sneaky.
Just like a white van.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah, I mean it's not as fucking weird as one of the proposals that I heard or from a conference in our field, which is essentially there are certain kinds of rocks that would possibly like have like atomic level defects that would form from our interaction. So there's some people who wrote a paper about how if you were clever enough, you could like bury a singular rock near a fucking nuclear reactor and then send like a special forces team to retrieve it after like a year or two, then put it under a microscope and try to tell what the fuck was going on inside of that nuclear reactor.
Just ask,
Why-
dude. Like, what the
Why
fuck?
did I need to send special forces and not like Doug from accounting?
Yeah, well, because Doug from accounting probably would get shot, given that this was proposed to like Iran.
So these would be basically like Minecraft special forces, right?
Yeah.
This
And
is
this
a
is
whole
why-
generation was trained for this.
Yeah. And this is why I was told not to go to Iran or North Korea.
Yeah, because
University.
they were like they would give you like a shovel. Like we need you.
No, because they would kidnap me.
You could
It's
make
like the fucking
North
that
Korea.
movie where they trained the oil drillers to be astronauts.
Yeah.
It's just a nuclear. They trained the nuclear physicist to be a guy who can dig.
They're probably hiring nuclear physicists in North Korea. You could make a killing over there, man.
No. Yeah. You see, it wouldn't be exactly consensual hiring.
Yeah.
It would be more of like a work for us, or we shoot you in the head right here, right now kind of
could
situation.
Just call HR over that, dude.
Yeah, I don't think North Korean HR speaks English though.
Tell them Kim Jong Un sexually assaulted you.
Yeah.
What if they treat the nuclear physicist well so he can do his job to the best of his ability, though?
That's what guns are
Yeah,
for.
that's true. As long as they are doing their job, probably. You can't. You can't pull a Tony Stark in North Korea. I don't think.
Would you get like prostitutes basically if you became like a North Korean state like physicist and you're like, dude, I need pussy, dude, and then you become part of an extremely problematic culture of like systematic rape of just women who need a way to like escape the constant
Extreme
malnourishment.
poverty. Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably could. Yeah.
Because they would pay them like not in like money but like peanut butter.
No.
Carrots.
Viscosity when you're in South Korean.
How did we get here? How did we get here from science?
World building.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't like it.
For 30 seconds and you
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
fucking-
that fucking rules.
Would it be bad form if they only gave them phallic-shaped foods?
It's,
Why would you do that?
That's conditioning.
you can only eat a fucking.
It's form of
Eggplant,
cucumber.
You can
Here's your
only
zucchini.
eat.
Oh,
thing
zucchini fucking
sausages.
rules. That's just shouts out to zucchini. I
Shout
used
out
to
to
hate
noodles.
zucchini when I was a kid, but nowadays I fucking like that shit.
Sponsor of the week.
Yeah.
Zucchinis.
God damn it.
It's my pasta.
Big Zook.
Zucchini
Okay,
pasta
maybe
is
not
very
that.
good too, yeah.
like pasta
What was
with
it?
zucchini or like
Was injured. He tore his ACL preparing for a jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Alexander Volkanovsky is going to be stepping in as the interim Facebook CEO.
I mean, good. Shouts out to him. Like,
Surely you don't need your ACL to run a company.
On the internet.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't need your ACL to run a tech company. I think you're probably fine.
Definitely need your fucking ATL to run, bro. I don't know.
shit, I need to test something real quick.
All right. Could I have 3 of these chicken tenders?
No.
No,
no,
You may not.
I don't
without
have
shouting
any.
out.
I'll not have the tendies.
Thou cannot have.
Okay, tremendous.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
But it's very convenient that this world building project I've been trying to do for like many years is now sort of giving me the ability to actually understand the shit that I'm learning at university. It feels like cheating a little bit.
Incredibly
Because
nice.
you're just better than everyone? Like, come on now.
No, I have more of a motivation to do shit. I mean, it is it is rather. There is a big. It's very different. We may have already talked about this. It's very different studying something when you're like a bit older because. And on one hand, it's because like I know that this is something I want to do, so it doesn't feel like a chore as much.
Like
because
a chore, yeah.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, I have to do this like I'm in school, but it's like, oh yeah, well I do this, I get to do this basically. And you also, I think a big factor in this is that I don't get pushed around as much, right? Like I think I talked to you about this when we were hanging out in Hamburg.
Right.
Where there's like the course where I'm learning to use the mapping software, right?
Right.
Like I show up to the first thing and like the sysadmin is there of the university and he's like, oh, you all have your access codes and all that, and he just leaves.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
he's like,
I have my hand raised and I asked like the guy who runs the thing, like, I don't have that on me because I use a password manager. I don't know that in my head. And he's like, oh, well, that's a problem. Like, you know
Your
the way
problem.
you talk to like a kid, you can talk to a kid that's fresh out of high school and they think, oh no, this is my fault. And I'm like, yes, this is a problem. You didn't tell me about this. Like, what the fuck?
correct.
It
is not my problem.
Yeah, it's not my problem. This is your problem. And then he was like, oh, well, you just bring it in next time. Because, like, the second he sees that I'm, like, not fresh out of high school, his tone completely changes. Like, people, they don't feel like they can push you around as much as they could, most of the other students. So that's...
Yeah. I have noticed that, too.
Yeah.
In my school.
Yeah. Like, there's a bit more of respect there immediately. Or maybe even just a reluctance to, like, treat you like a child.
Yeah, damn it.
I will go straight to the motherfucking dean.
Yeah. I don't even need to go to the. I can just tell you to fuck off. Like, how? Like, if you're being disrespectful to me as a human being, right?
Right. I can just fucking leave.
Yeah. I'm doing this because I want to. You have no power over me.
Right. And that's something I found too. Like with like. Oh, go ahead.
What about that sweet neuroplasticity? You're losing it more and more as you get older.
Yeah, I haven't really lost that much neuroplasticity yet.
I don't feel that.
I mean, you start feeling it maybe when you're 40, but it's also the decline in neuroplasticity is often overstated. It's it doesn't. I mean, there's a lot of ways to counteract it, and it doesn't happen as strongly as you might suggest. And you never fully lose neuroplasticity. That never happens. Matt, I can barely understand what you're saying. Like this is like you're in a different parallel universe. You're in the shadow realm, dude. But yeah, I mean, it's also when you're an adult. This is something that I learned when I started learning the piano and then didn't continue doing it because I didn't have the time on account of adult responsibilities. Like the piano teacher was like, "Oh yeah, people like, oh, adults can't really learn this kind of shit because for children it's much easier to learn it," which is like, yeah. But adults are much better at like practicing roads, having discipline. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
To actually, because when you tell a kid like, "Oh, if you do this for 2 years, you'll be pretty good at it," to a child, that's an unspeakable amount of time. They just don't understand it, and it seems like forever for them. But as an adult, you're like, "Yeah, I can do this for 2 years. 2 years is an amount of time that I can."
I have to say, personally, I feel I learn stuff much faster now than I used to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, also...
In general, it's not just...
Yeah, I do feel like it's easier to like slot it into my the totality of my understanding because there's more points that it can connect to. It's like, oh, this is that, and this is connected this way.
Yeah.
I also think that like when. Like for me, like somebody who has like a lot of like mental things like that, like once you learn how your brain kind of works, when it comes to learning things, it's easier to learn things because you're like, well, I know I can't do it this way.
Yeah, so I have my way of doing it, and that's okay.
Okay, now that I'm back on
It's-
my proper headset, I can tell you the anecdote that I wanted to say about my
Okay.
grandpa at 80 getting basically hit by a car and having like a coin-sized area of dead brain tissue in his fucking Broca's area, losing
Ew.
speech for like 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks just recovering, and after a month being basically back to normal.
Jesus.
Jesus,
Yeah.
that's fucking scary.
Yeah. But also, yeah, it was quite scary, but also it was very funny afterwards because they go to the fucking doctor with like the legal doctor type person for like insurance purposes, and then and the guy asked my grandpa like, okay, so how are you feeling? He's like, well, I'm feeling fine, honestly. Like, and the doctor had to basically tell him, no, if you keep saying that you're feeling fine, then the insurance will have no reason to pay out in any way.
Based doctor.
By the way, what should I draw today?
I don't know.
You should
Oh.
draw Sonic the Hedgehog in a
No.
compromising position.
Hang on. Give me a second.
Alright.
I know.
Draw him in Burgers River.
No.
Sonic
Not-
meeting Epstein.
Oh fuck no! Don't do that.
I've already started.
Damn it! Why the fuck did you bastards?
It's canon now.
He just kind of seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And if Sega try and take it down, then they're making it official.
Yeah, exactly. Why would they try to take that down if it wasn't official law?
Yeah.
I would have asked you to draw this absolute pupper. Hang on. I need a good image
Our
of it.
idea's
Give me a
better.
good fucking image. God damn it, Google.
There's a lot of pictures of puppers on the internet.
No, the fictional pupper. This boy.
Is he from Florida?
Shit, there's
No. He's from the game I'm playing right now. Oh, also, United States. Y'all doing a really good job at the moment with what was it? Ohio and Virginia, I think?
Ohio, Kentucky.
Thank you.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Ohio, Kentucky
Ohio.
says like a name, but in a post-apocalyptic setting.
He's winning.
It sounds like a
Keeps
fucking
winning, bro.
American, like a fake American, like the name of an American in some kind of anime.
Yes.
Yeah.
I named one of my characters Johnny Vegas.
I love Johnny Vegas, dude.
An actual person.
Who is Johnny
Yeah.
Vegas again?
He's a comedian.
He's
He's
one
a
of the
comedian.
funniest guys too. Like he's he's like genuinely a really good comedian.
I love that, like, from birth, he has sounded like a lifelong smoker.
Yeah. And also he's still like not only is he still alive, he still looks the exact same way he did 40 years ago. It's genuinely insane.
Some people are just built different.
Yeah. Johnny Vegas is built different, dude.
I'm pretty sure it's like all of those sausage rolls.
Yeah.
Well, he has lost weight, okay?
Has Johnny Vegas lost weight? Let me
I think
Yeah,
he has.
he's not as big as he was.
Johnny Vegas.
Also, I more meant that from a point of view of, like, being northern.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, Greg's is the lifeblood.
Oh shit,
of-
he really holy fuck!
Yeah, he has lost weight.
What the fuck?
Incredibly based.
We gotta put our health first these days.
Hell yeah.
What
Do
did
we, though?
they do to my man?
What did they do?
What did they do to him?
Okay,
People
this is come on, dude. What the fuck?
Well, he's only like
Look at this.
Come on, England. Score some fucking goals.
How he? There's no way he's still funny. Like,
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Like when you get skinny, you're not funny
Yeah,
anymore.
it's like the
Yeah.
funny that you
The
sweat.
funny is stored in your fat.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's like the non-shivering thermoregulation. It's the fat cells that do it.
Yeah. It's like how pee is stored in the balls. It's
Oh, right, yeah.
It's
I keep forgetting
funny
about
is
that. I don't
stored in
have
the
those.
fat.
I don't believe that's true.
You don't have to believe it for it to be. You can just be
There's-
wrong.
Johnny
don't have to
Vegas eats
understand.
entire block
You
of
just have to
butter
accept
in
the
bizarre
fact.
celebrity juice appearance. I think most appearances of Johnny Vegas anywhere are bizarre. That's kind of his thing.
The first time I seen him was on like the Great Pottery
Yeah.
Throwdown or whatever, and I was like, "Who the fuck?" Because I named my character first, and then I realized he was a real person, and I was like, "Shit." And then I watched his comedy stuff.
Did you? How? Speaking of a thing that Johnny Vegas was in, right? How do we feel about Dylan Moran,
The name's incredibly familiar. Give me a second.
the comedian? Okay, let me fucking because this is gonna get
I-
into trans issues.
I
no.
I only
Oh,
remember
fun.
him from Shaun of the Dead.
He was in Shaun of the Dead, yeah.
He was in Black Books.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that is exactly the thing that I'm talking about. He
Actually, I haven't
made
seen
Black Books. He made Black Books. He made Black Books with. Guess who he made Black Books with? I'm gonna just post a picture.
Bill
of the
Bailey
guy.
in it.
Winner.
Well, no, I don't mean Bill Bailey. I mean fucking Glenna.
Oh, yeah.
Winner, chicken
Glenn,
dinner.
like Dylan Moran and Glenna were the executive producers. What's Glenna's real name?
No clue.
Graham Linehan?
Graham Linehan. Yeah, Graham Linehan. They made Black Books together, and I don't know how Dylan Moran feels about trans people. I feel
Oh,
like
this guy's anti-trans, huh?
Oh, Dylan, no,
Right.
fucking Graham Linehan is definitely the most anti-trans. I mean, he's like he's the turf's strongest warrior, basically.
Oh, I see.
But I think this was like in the 90s, so Dylan Moran trans.
Yeah, before Graham Linehan chose to destroy his entire fucking life because he was really angry about trans people existing, like
Oh, I see.
the concept.
Apparently.
So
Good things.
the turf central argument, right, is that can't trans women somehow encroach upon women's rights? And is there any validity to this? Like, I think a big issue is with sports. What's your guys' opinion?
I mean, sports is sort of like the most nuanced issue of them all, but as like it is not a problem, and it will continue not to be a problem for the
Yeah.
foreseeable future. Like,
Well, also,
Yeah,
like-
that's the tweet I just found. But yeah, please continue saying this. Yeah, please no.
yeah, like
me. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
yes, well, that's basically my opinion on trans people in sports in general. Like, those being generally a trans woman, there's not many people saying like that trans men have an advantage, though sometimes they do, but for the reasons other than you might that are often discussed, mainly being forced to compete with women.
Oh
But,
yeah.
like,
Imagine being
That's-
forced to be in the same room as women, dude. That's
Damn, bro, that
Fucking
sucks.
punishment,
I don't
dude.
know. I don't know how
Fucking
trans people
crazy.
deal with
yeah,
that.
rip trans people, dude. My heart goes out to you all.
And like, I don't understand. Why do you want to become women? Women suck.
Wow.
wow.
New gender affirming procedure, lobotomy.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Aside from the fucking from the
Misogyny.
misogynist jokes, though. Yeah. I also do have an opinion.
You're all
on-
women.
on
I
the
apologize for
transport.
that one. It was just sitting there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to
Okay,
take
so-
a shot.
Yeah. So, to me, trans people in sport is such like it feels such like a non-issue. It's like, oh, are you now gonna start sorting people with like different genetic predispositions in different categories because of it? Like,
There is
Yeah.
I don't
there
know,
is
like,
an
yeah, there's
argument to be made about I feel like doing it as like a form of legalized doping. Because obviously, trans people and all that, yes, it's because of the feeling, the gender, and all that shit. But I'm talking not about the trans person aspect of these people, but the competitive athlete aspect. And if you want to be a competitive athlete, your brain has to be built different. You have to be
And your
willing
body
to like
often.
sacrifice a lot of shit for that. This is, I mean, ultimately, I don't think this is like a systemic issue that makes it unfair for other people, but I do think that there might be like a lot of competitive athletes who would be like, I can deal with gender dysphoria or whatever the fuck. Trans me and I will be the champion. But then you also, it might feel like that whole sport is being devalued. So I feel like just from that perspective, there is a discussion to be had. But ultimately, as I understand it, it's that like there's the advantage that certain types of trans people have in sports isn't actually that big.
no.
It's
And,
like pretty
Also-
negligible.
and also, I
ultimately-
think you should mention that this is literally a manufactured issue. Like the only reason it is discussed so much is as basically to generate outrage, whether
Yeah.
there is and should be none.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because like trans people in general are majorly underrepresented in the sports as well.
Yeah.
Like in general.
But like, if in my mind, there might be some actually a rather significant
Yeah,
number of
but-
competitive athletes who would be like, I'm gonna do this to be like Russian.
Yes, but ultimately, I personally advocate for running most sports kind of like fucking Formula One.
Yeah.
Where there's like imposed safety rules, but other than that, go fucking wild.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, I mean, then you get to like the other side of that, like, but you have athletes that are pressured into doing shit that they don't want to do and whatever the fuck.
That's
and it's
true.
complicated.
Yeah, but that's why you have why you have
Yeah.
a league that does safety rules and regulations.
But it's the sports issue isn't as like purely clear cut to me as like pretty much every other aspect of trans rights. But it's still like it's pretty like I don't see a reason.
I mean,
why
again,
that
the
should be,
the difference is so fucking minor
Yeah,
that
yeah,
actually it
yeah.
doesn't matter
it's
realistically because trans people are basically like in strength and like physical performance identical to cis people if they've transitioned for like
but I
2
mean,
years
but
or more.
it's
Really
the
wasn't-
competitive realm that's really competitive realm. People are just built different.
Yeah, but then there's like women who have naturally
High
levels
testosterone
very
that
equivalent
gives
to
them an
men, so-
advantage. Yeah. But
Yeah.
they like a woman who doesn't have like a cis woman specifically who doesn't have high testosterone, right? It wouldn't be basically legal for her to get more testosterone because someone else has
Yeah.
it. And then that
which is
that
fucking
would be
weird.
legal for
Yeah,
trans
which is, I guess, but yeah. Well, technically, for most trans people that are like medically transitioning, they will have around the same testosterone level as a cis woman, as the average cis
That's
woman, which
lower.
means that they are below the average level for competitive athletes.
But you get bone density from male puberty. You
Nope.
get tendon strength.
Nope.
I mean,
Nope. All of those go away with estrogen.
well,
And we
bone
lost
density does
testosterone.
decrease. It does not decrease to normal levels compared to most
True.
standard women, but it is also not an advantage in every sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also women who are power athletes will generally have a lot higher bone density than the average woman. as well. So that's also like genetic variation can do that.
It's a thing where we need to like
Yeah, the problem is that like people compare it when they're talking about competitive sports. People compare the average trans woman with the average woman,
Yeah, that's
and
not how that works.
the average, and not the average trans woman, or the results of transitioning
Yeah.
compared to the average power athlete woman, right? Or like high level athlete in general woman. That is so the difference is a lot less stark.
Yeah.
So talking about the average woman when we're talking about sports, it's like pretty stupid. Like
Yeah.
half of all women are stronger, faster, and more anything than the average woman. That's
Yeah,
what
exactly.
the average
That's the
woman.
point.
And we're talking about the
Yeah, the
top
peak.
the peak performance, like 0.01%.
The Johnny
This is peak
Vegases
female.
of sports, basically.
Anyways, I'm gonna
This
go
is
because
peak.
Bran is back home. So see you all. I have a boyfriend to
See
hang
you.
out with.
See you
Goodbye.
round and say hi to Brad.
Wait, are
Yeah.
you with Bran
Yeah.
in Munich at the moment?
No. I'm talking
Okay.
about on Discord.
Yeah,
Bye.
fair.
Gay as fuck.
By the way, when do you want
Yeah.
to meet up in London? If you ever do,
Oh fuck! I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna be in the UK next. I'll
A bit on the spot.
we'll figure it out.
my condolences.
Okay, so
You have to
talking
come to
about
this shitty country.
getting back to Dylan Moran for a second, this is the same. Yeah, Chris found the same tweet I did. Apparently, an account called Trans Safety Now said, "Cake when you hear from another trans parent that Dylan Moran spent the first half of his latest gig standing up for trans people in their rights. Icing when you look at Twitter and notice that Moran doesn't follow Glinner." So they may have. It appears that they have parted ways in some capacity.
Reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, this.
Well, I mean,
That's what I would do.
yeah.
he also did the IT crowd.
Yeah.
And I would imagine a fair few of that cast aren't.
Yeah, I do know that like I might be mixing some, but I think Richard Iowati is pretty good on trans issues, and he doesn't like Glinda very much. If I'm not mixing this up quite severely.
There was a bad but not absolutely terrible for a 90s comedy show IT Crowd episode.
Oh, this tweet is from 2018.
Damn, bro, that's old.
It's
Is
not
it?
that old. It's like 5 years.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Holy shit, 2018 was 5 years ago. Holy fucking shit.
I still feel like it's 2020.
Bruh, same.
I mean, it's 2020. It's almost 2020 if you round down. It's
If you round down, yeah.
Yeah,
As
but
I
that
said,
doesn't make
I
it
do not-
better.
As you get older, time just doesn't matter anymore.
No, time does matter to me because I'm feeling... God, fucking...
I have never perceived the time. Like,
Time is a construct, and I do not subscribe.
yeah, literally. Like, I am generally incapable of being in time to anything. Well, not absolutely incapable, of course. I have been on
Yeah.
time in the
I
past.
forget what
but
day
like,
it is, like, every day. When I'm just asking someone, is it Tuesday today? They give me, like, a look, and they're like, yeah, it's Tuesday. And I'm just like, okay, I was just asking. Like, damn.
But it's fucking Monday again today.
Damn, how many Mondays have I existed in?
A lot.
Unfortunate.
Probably like 1,000.
Maybe. And working nighttime, it's hard. It's hard for me to remember what day it is.
Damn it.
Damn, apparently Dylan Moran ain't doing so well, though.
Poor guy.
So this is from the Ireland subreddit. Just saw Dylan Moran in Vicar Street and had to leave early. I have to do the accent because it's in the Ireland subreddit.
Ireland.
Yes.
I'm a fairly big fan of Dylan Moran. Saw him live a few years ago. First stand-up special I ever owned was his, and I played it constantly. Actually, that is very relatable. Went to see him tonight with a group, and it was deplorable, pathetic, embarrassing, like the English. And probably the worst performance, live performance I've paid to see in my life. He's apparently recently divorced and also apparently drinking again, and he incorporates both into his act in a big way. And neither feel like an act. That's fucking dark. He doesn't appear to have any real material prepared. Came out on stage and proceeded to drink beers for the entire performance. Like, there's no stories, no jokes, no setup, nor payoff. He just meanders between how we all have phones now and are glued to our screens, how LGBT is confusing but he doesn't care, how love isn't real. But none of these went anywhere or had any structure, which is... He does usually have structure that's very hidden. Genuinely, you'd get more sense out of some lone regular at the local on a Saturday night. Jesus.
Fuck.
Scathing
review.
He also then had a keyboard on stage, which he genuinely just pressed random keys on for 40 minutes and said it was jazz. That could
That's
be
kind of funny, though.
That's kind of what jazz is.
That could be a Sam Hyde bit. He then blurted out the names of random politicians without any follow-up reference or joke behind the utter surface-level stuff. Putin, Ukraine bad, Truss, Brexit bad, etc. He went on the first break after 20 minutes because he, no joke, couldn't locate the bottle opener.
Oh my god.
Then after coming back on stage, he told the audience multiple times that he had nothing else to say and wanted to finish up. The audience groaned and he stayed on a little longer each time.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
It just sounds like a well-played bit.
It could be a really well done bit. Or it could be just him having massive depression. I stood up and left after he went through this for the fourth time, as did many others. Our taxi driver home told us he'd been collecting people who'd walked out of his shows early for a couple of weeks now. I don't mind if the chap is in a bad place. I hope he can look after himself and get better. Oh, but taking people's money in a sellout show on Vicar Street on Saturday night is a disgrace, and if he doesn't have an act to perform, such a shame. Shit.
You either you die the hero or live long enough to become the villain. It seems.
Man, it sucks that he's like divorced and like sad. That sucks. I love his style of comedy, of like the level of absurdism he's always been doing.
Have you seen?
And it kind of sucks
Stuart
that
Lee?
you're like.
Have I seen what?
Okay.
Stuart Lee.
Who?
The film?
Stuart Lee. He's a comedian.
Oh, the comedian. Yeah, I think I have. Let me Google this real quick. And then
It's also very absurd, but like the bits are hidden behind several layers.
Oh, I have seen a few bits from him, I believe. I have seen a few bits. He's a woke comedian, isn't he?
Yeah, he has a bit.
In Wokies.
He has a bit that goes on for 15 minutes about pissing, and it's really bad, with the intention that the audience won't laugh. So then he can criticize the audience for not laughing, and then say it's their fault that Robin Williams killed himself.
Jesus Christ, dude. That's really good.
Bro, that is dark. Fucking hell.
Like,
man has balls of steel.
Ah, that rules. That's a good one. I've been thinking a lot about Sam Hyde these past few weeks. Because he feels to me like a genuine artist pushing real boundaries.
But
no, that's the end of the sentence. It just you have to say it like there is a but coming. You can't just say it. You have to say it like there is a but coming, and then not say the but.
No buts.
Yeah, no, zero butt zone. Because I mean, there's so much like offensive art that really pushes the envelope of like what the art form can do, and that is genuinely what he does. It's just that, you know, it's. I mean, we all know what Sam Hyde does and what he has done.
Oh, for sure.
So
Crafty bastard.
I've never heard of Sam Hyde.
What do you mean you've never heard of Sam Hyde?
I've heard the name Sam Hyde. I don't know.
No.
You do definitely have heard the name of Sam Hyde at some point. It's like
I think that's about it.
He wears those
Understandable.
ugly glasses that are too small for his head.
Let me fucking find the guy. You've seen Sam Hyde before.
Nope, I gave it a Google. I'm like, who's this? Don't know him.
I'm the guy. I'm the
He's
main
the guy who did all
guy.
the shootings.
Yeah, he's
The
the guy who
guy.
did all the shootings.
He's
Like
the guy who
every
keeps
single
getting
one of
away
them.
with it.
Yeah, this is like this is Sam Hyde. Like this is genuinely Sam Hyde. This is not a bit.
Did you see
my
Doja Cat had posted a picture on Instagram of her wearing like a shirt with Sam Hyde's face on it?
Yeah, I'm not. To be fair, I'm not entirely sure who Doja Cat is. I believe she's some sort of musician.
She's a
What?
rapper, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a cow.
He
like,
did.
in a literal
He's the
sense.
guy who did the Eurovision act for Finland this year. Sam Hyde is.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Finland.
Do you remember Jeff Holiday?
Oh
Yeah,
shit,
I
hey,
do.
Am.
Yeah. He was on Twitter last night because he watched the Boogie documentary.
Look.
He was on
Oh,
Twitter last night talking about when he met Boogie, I think at VidCon, and just talking about how slimy and gross Boogie is. Like apparently Boogie came up to his wife and said, "If you weren't married, I'd ask you to shit on my chest."
That's a powerful.
That is a power.
Jeff
Jesus
Holiday's
Christ.
wife.
Jesus.
That's
Wait,
how
there's
they should
a,
only
there's
ever
a
taste it.
And this is an
documentary.
incredibly fucked up thing to say.
Yeah.
I think this
There was
very
also
moment
there was also a thing about him not bathing, and get into a hot tub, and the hot tub when he got out of it had a film on it.
Ooh.
But yeah, the him going up to Jeff Holiday's wife and saying that was like, holy fucking. It was just like, what?
Yeah, that's
Damn, bro.
that's
That
Who is
kinda
this
sucks.
guy?
fucking crazy, actually. I mean, he's always felt to me like one of those people that people really, really want to hate. But you know, sometimes hearing shit like this that I will inevitably forget rather quickly because I don't ultimately care about who is cool
Yeah.
and who internet drama, blah blah blah. But that's a fucked up thing to say to anyone.
Yeah, to anyone, just in period.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah.
they might, maybe if they were like best friends and in an open relationship with each other or some shit, then maybe that would be
Yeah.
okay to say.
And everybody
but
knew
yeah,
about it.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
there's a specific context, but that's like 99% of contexts.
Right.
That's
And like
Going
Boogie's
on,
under a glass table, so it's not
Like, there is-
direct.
yeah.
There's no way he did not know. Like, this is not inappropriate. And he was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he did say that at the time, Boogie was like had legitimate fear of drugs. So when Jeff and his wife started
They're
taking
scary.
mushrooms, like Boogie just left.
This is
He was
such a Jeff Holiday thing to do, to just fucking
Just to pull out
just
some
pop
shrooms.
dude. I
have
used to
some in my
talk to him a
desk.
bit many years ago.
Yeah, I still watch his Twitch streams.
Actually, I'm
once
pretty
in a
sure
while.
that Beast is like a personal friend of his.
Mr. Beast?
No, Beast as in the guy on the server.
Oh, our Beast.
Yeah, our Beast.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Our boy, our main
Our
man,
boy.
Our
the,
king.
the man titty king.
Yeah.
Titty King.
I mean, come on, let's be real. Do you not think he isn't the titty king?
Of course
Have
he
you
is. Did you see those
seen
pictures?
He made them himself.
He's got a piercing on it to like punctuate the titty. So
Yeah.
My mom
Like a
did.
crown.
like a crown.
Like a titty crown, you know? A diadem, essentially, around the nipple.
Motherfucker, shut up, please. I can't.
I love it. I'm gonna explain it in my book that way. A diadem on the titty.
Yeah. It would be crazy if you had like a piercing through your skull. Like through
Like
your
a bullet?
brain. Yeah, but it's like a giant piercing, and you can like lift people up from like one of those nose rings that you give cows,
Oh my god.
and they're just like lobotomized people.
Well, you
Yeah,
can
that would be
have
really
parts of
funny,
your
I guess.
You're
Anyway,
like, this will be funny. Could you understand humor?
This is
downfall of the
this is
plan.
not what my brain usually thinks. Please do not judge me based upon this.
You are responsible at all times for what you say. You will be
Yeah.
judged.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hell yes, finally.
I really fucking hope not, because I said far too much shit in my life.
I have said
Oh,
We've all
I have
said
said
far
some
too much
really,
shit.
really stupid shit in very, very public places and settings.
Mm-hmm.
Probably on
Sounds
this
about
live
right.
stream. I mean, the kind of the shit that I say sometimes, that there's a lot of it you can like tell it's genuinely just, you know, stupid.
I was just on the internet.
Yeah, I was just on the internet, but I am 100% sure that there are like things that I've genuinely, probably even made videos about that I would very much not agree with today.
Your first video?
Oh
for
yeah,
example?
I
started
still
rewatching
think that
some
I
of
was
your old
right with
videos.
my first video. I think it was a good idea to not do
Yeah, no,
that at the time.
That one was fine, but then there's like what was it? The first Sargon video was kind of dated as fuck.
Which Sargon video?
And I'm
Dark
trying
on
to
these
recall.
nuts.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Ah, fuck.
one where I'm
Am
like,
I-
Sargon wasn't always a right-wing hack.
Yeah.
How is that dated? Because he wasn't always a right-wing hack.
No, but there was another one. I can't recall the name for the life of me. I know you've done like
more than
three?
one. I've made more than one video on Sargon.
I think so. Oh yeah, there was no. That one's actually not that dated, but God, it's old. I mean, like, understandably so. It is fucking old. But the one
Aren't
where
we
there was
all?
that controversy with the alt-righters, with the first one of many that kind of showed, like, hang on, I need to fucking find it. Give me
I
a second.
genuinely have no memory of this.
Just look at your
Like,
channel
it's
and sort by
not ringing a
oldest.
bell.
Sort by oldest.
Okay, I'm
you
gonna
still do
try
that?
doing that.
Yeah, you can. You
do
can.
that, yeah.
Sort
Oh,
by
shit, I
oldest.
need
Napoleon
to,
was black.
It's okay.
Yes, Napoleon was black is fucking funny.
That's it's a true.
Oh,
it's a true
Sentinels of Speech. I mean,
oldest.
Sentinels of Speech is probably not the best one, but
Sargon, let me explain
yes,
why the
that one.
autism.
I still actually think that it's important to have people who say extremely fucked
Oh,
up shit.
absolutely, but like,
still think
yeah,
that.
just the image of Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah, no, but I still, that's still something I believe. Like, he's a fucking,
Yeah, no.
he's a piece of shit and a cunt. This is exactly like how I disagree rather foundationally with a lot of people who are way further to the left of me, but I still think it's important that they exist and that they get to be able to say the shit that they say.
You
Completely
look so
understandable.
small.
Sargon, let me explain. Why the autism? What
I actually-
was this about?
This was about a big controversy. Well, a big controversy about sponsors within the alt-right. The first of many, about a platform called Candid, if I recall correctly.
Oh my god, but this had nothing to do with the alt-right specifically. This was a Shoe on Head had some,
Yeah.
or was it Armored Skeptic?
No, it
I
was
think it was
Sean
both
Head.
of them. It
And there
both
was
of them.
something going on with the harmful. I completely forgot about the YouTuber Harmful Opinions, who is apparently a guy who still existed, and he doesn't like me for some reason. Oh my, this is actually unlocking a lot of memories. I
Cool.
don't remember, though. I still remember the point that I made in this video. Or why I was addressing Sargon about it.
Nobody said anything about my Sonic drawing.
Oh, did you post it?
Sorry, yeah, I was
It's
thinking...
beautiful.
I was thinking, oh, Jesus.
Oh my god.
That is a very cool... Oh, this is Sonic killing Jeffrey Epstein. That rule. He would have been fast enough to run through the security prison doors, too. That's
True.
probably what happened.
That's canon.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Are you gonna select a car at some point and actually drive it?
Yes, I will. I just need to
No,
find one that actually.
he lies. He lies. Do not believe him.
Why would you though? The trains are so efficient.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I can say this on stream. It's not the N-word. I'm reading the Wraith Holocaust book,
What?
and I'm gonna review it.
Oh man.
Wait, there's a Wraith Holocaust book?
Yes, there is a splat book that allows you to play not in the Holocaust but in concentration camps and Jewish
But very
ghettos.
similar to the Holocaust.
Yeah, you basically play ghosts who died in the Holocaust.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Deep.
it's
It can be.
I've actually really liked what I have read so far. And not in the sense that I was like, oh, this is a cool thing that happened. But
This was depressing.
but in like
actually.
it's well done, like historically.
It is. They put a lot of effort into it for what it is.
Yeah.
What is it?
but
I've
I'm-
interacted with like Holocaust deniers who just like are wrong on both sides of it, where they'll be like, Hitler didn't kill 6 million Jews, but I would have been glad if he did. I'm like,
Oh my god.
I don't even know what to say to you, man.
No, this is about basically. I mean, it plays in the modern day, so you play these ghosts in the modern day, not like during or immediately after the Holocaust. It deals more with the long-term aftermath. Why? What is wrong with this vehicle? There's something wrong with the vehicle.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a right-hand drive. Probably.
Oh, it's English. Yeah, that's what's wrong with it.
Oh right. Mm.
You're expecting
Eee.
wheels to be on that side.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
I really
this
looked the
might be
wrong way.
Fucking weird.
I think I said something in the chat, but yesterday,
Why are there just civilians driving on the road?
Because it's just a normal road. You have to drive to the
Yeah.
racecourse.
Jesus Christ.
what was the saying? Anyway,
Why is that music playing in the background? What the fuck?
I
Just
don't know. I
wait.
don't know how to change the radio.
That's so fucking ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, I looked through every one of your videos, and I gotta commend you how one man can just be so right.
Thank you. Did you
He means right
watch all of them just now?
You watched them all
I
In
think
2
I
seconds.
missed like the first year or
on
two
fast forward.
that I haven't
Thank you.
seen. Right.
So some of my oldest videos, right? The fucking "Do not kill Donald Trump." I still think that was correct, and I also think it holds up. There was a
Understandable.
few things that I just didn't see coming about it. The provocateurs
Like what?
be important, yo. I think also is correct. Many people don't know that Napoleon was black. Obviously, is correct. I love
Oh no,
that.
that one.
I-
That one is a fucking masterpiece.
On that one, I get like a lot of hoteps, like unironically, just.
Oh wow.
Bored out of my hive mind is still one of my coolest names, I feel like. Thanks, Anita. I think that's an Overwatch thing. That might have been some sort of L on my part. I don't remember. Anarcho-capitalists and communists are the same thing. Well,
That one aged so badly.
I'm sure that if I watched it, I would be able to find some sort of like through line that's still intelligent. Because I remember choosing that title specifically thinking like, I know this isn't true, but it will really piss both of these groups off severely. Trousers were invented in Ireland. Cooking by the book has a bit of an odd message. Oh yeah.
What?
We need to rewatch that one.
I was like going. It was something about like how I found that you have to follow the recipe very fascist. Found that to be a very fascist notion.
Yes, I think. Yeah.
Diversity is dope. See, that was one of my first videos saying that diversity is good. No one can tell me like, oh, you used to be a right winger because it's like, fuck off.
Diversity is good.
Back in my day, millennials had it easy. That's a cool title. I assume it's the same message as all of my millennials videos. This said, look around you. Are you sure this is where you want to be? I don't remember what I say in that one, but I have heard that song again recently by fucking what's his name? Willie Nelson, and it's like, I'm sorry. Was that Lego?
Yeah, there's a Lego map.
What the fuck is going on? I thought Forza Horizon was a serious game for serious gamers.
Nope.
It is. Just not Horizon. That's motorsport.
Your biggest video must be AI will be a massive disappointment. But AI is awesome.
AI is a massive disappointment because I remember the premise of that video being I remember very specifically that people would inherently always put like the expectations of what it can do higher than what it actually will be able to do. So no matter how good it becomes, it will always be a disappointment, which is,
I feel like with the jump recently, though, it's been like, wow, this is awesome. This is changing everything. And it's less of a disappointment.
I followed AI pretty closely for the past couple of years, and I feel like all of this, on my end at least, was expected that it would be able to do the things it can. I find it a bit absurd when people go like, "Oh, and this is now it. Look what it can not do, and it will never be able to do those things." Just like, dude, like 4 years ago. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of like normal people, like they didn't know what to expect, and they're like just in awe of everything because they didn't have a frame of reference.
It's also like
people, it's like, oh yeah, totally, like this is normal.
Yeah, we're now in a very interesting spot when it comes to AI development because it's less predictable, ironically, than it used to be, because we don't know whether we've hit certain technical limits. We don't know what the legislative situation is going to be going forward. Like a couple years ago, you could
a lot of industries, like artistic industries, at least.
Yeah. So, and also, like it might be that we've like reached a limit as to what large AI models can do. Like that that's like a technical piece of discourse that I, to be honest, don't quite understand. But I know that like a lot of people who understand these things on like a technical level, like, yeah, we might be getting close to what's possible. And then what basically happens, then you like optimize and refine shit. So it's still gonna get better, but it's gonna not.
Until we get quantum computers.
No, I don't.
I don't think that would help in this case.
But getting back to that fucking Willie Nelson song.
Right.
Have you seen the lyrics? Like, the premise of the song is basically... I mean, it's like, it's understandable. I just pull up the lyrics. Willie Nelson, are you sure? Because it's super abusive. It's a really fucking abusive song.
You seem in such a hurry to live this kind of life.
Yeah.
And you've caused so many pain and misery.
Which is, I don't know why he said many. Because it's, for both of them, as much.
Right.
But it's the line where it's like, "Please don't let my tears persuade you. I had hoped I wouldn't cry, but lately teardrops seem part of me," which is like, it just feels to me very like, "Oh no, I don't know. Ignore that I'm
Yes,
crying."
very gaslighty.
Yeah, that feels like when I heard that line recently because I like this song. I associate it with
I like a lot of fucked up songs like The Weeknd. All of
Yeah.
his songs are like pretty bad lyrically.
And this is
But-
like, I heard that. I was like taking a walk and I was hearing that, and I heard that lyric and I was like, what? I'm sorry, he said what?
You said the bad word.
The great meme drought of 2017. That was a thing.
Was it?
We did have a meme drought in 2017.
Damn.
I remember that.
Conformity
Oh.
Quest, my credit score video, but I don't know why they have beans in the background. I think I did some sort of beans analogy.
Beans.
Weird shit is nothing new. Oh, the video I did like against Dr. Lehman that made him find me.
Who was Dr. Lehman again?
Academic.
Oh, that is ancient law.
That is ancient law, yeah.
Oh, hello, Seator.
Where I was like,
found you in real life?
Yeah.
Like he hunted you down?
yeah, he hunted me down. He apparently actually did teach at my university for a while. Planet Florida, where Planet Florida also I think was I remember that one being about
Pretty banger.
the whole world is just weird, like a lot weirder than you think it is. How to
Understandable.
make your own crusade at home. I have no idea what I said. I am fearing the worst.
I remember this video exactly.
Yeah.
You
Oh.
were like,
You said Deus
if
Vult.
you wanted to make like the lonely types start a crusade against Islam, you would be doing basically what the Western Europe at the time was doing with like not allowing people any like free communication about Muslim people and letting in a lot of them. And yeah, I think the central thing was limiting people's free speech about Muslims while letting more of them in.
Is bad.
I mean, you don't say it's bad,
But it's gonna lead to a lot of people getting shitty ideas.
Yeah.
Which is true. Maskierte Einschränkung unserer Grundrechte, that was a good one because it was against Heiko Maas. A message to His Majesty K Flex. I don't even.
Who's K-Flex?
Tariq Nasheed, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Tariq Nasheed.
Universal healthcare is the
What?
capitalist thing to do. I think Dale was making the point that it's cheaper.
Yep.
The truth about mangoes. Ah, here we come to
fuck.
one that's a big help.
Motherfucker.
Picking some low-hanging fruit. The only time I did sort of like reacting to SJW's content. And even within that video, I was like, there's nothing wrong with these people. I feel bad about this. And then I never did it again because I hated it. Why are so many millennials becoming communists? A video that I have thought about.
It's the video.
A video that I have thought about so many times that I can guarantee you I do not remember what is in it correctly.
I remember you saying, like you describing the economic state of the younger people and their outlook, and going like, it's no wonder they are worshipping a utopia they found in a book.
Well, but
One of them
that's pretty
was
astute though.
He's like, it sounds like something I would say.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a smart thing that I would have said.
I mean, yes, but the utopia is good. So, like,
You're a bit
Have you
quiet, so I
considered?
didn't hear anything negative you said about me.
Mm, mm, mm.
I remember.
You are liftable.
I remember.
The compliments keep coming.
That wasn't a compliment.
Something about YouTube burning. Liberty versus freedom. Oh yeah, that was the that we need in order to truly preserve freedom, we need to have like lawlessness tempered by constitutional rights. Because otherwise, realistically, you'll not have true freedom. So, like, there is a reality imposes a certain limitation on how free you can be, and if you want to achieve maximum free, I did the alloy metaphor that I still do sometimes.
This is just an episode of Adventure Time.
Yeah. What?
I
How?
talk about that one a lot with my friends and family. I'm always liberty versus freedom. Let me explain all the time. Thanks.
We're not-
for that one.
We're not gonna get to the one before the podcast ends, which makes me sad.
The one.
I
Which one
wish
is that?
I was a little bit gayer.
A wild
Oh.
moral panic
Ah.
appears. That one I have recently received a comment on, I believe, saying that it didn't age well. I don't actually. I think what I said was that actually Pepe is just a meme, but I don't know. I really don't remember.
It
Pepe
is now.
just a meme.
As I recall, it was something like seeing Nazis everywhere was like when parents saw Satanists everywhere with D&D.
Yeah. I'm sure it
What a
was
time
true
to
at
be
the time.
alive.
Shadowrun Law 101. That was a real. That actually still gets views. That's
What's
a
the other one? What do you expect?
Dutchman video, a German video, the 0th session of Paris. Many people
Memes für
don't know.
Politikverdrossene is an
Yeah.
underrated gem.
I don't actually remember that video. Let me open it, watch it later. The alt-right can fillet me. That one seems pretty cool.
Well,
That sounds very, very out of date, Burger. How
Yeah.
dare you?
Now that you're gay, the title hits differently.
I mean, they still can. Milo are fucking psychopathic demigods. Oh yeah, that one. That's still something that I struggle with, intellectually. Okay, so you get, say, we expand into space, right? And we get this thing going where it's like, okay, now we have enough space and enough resources for basically anyone who's like a fringe ideological or cultural group to get their own space station where they do whatever it is that they do.
Hell
Right?
yeah. Incredibly based.
How? But is it though? Because because especially if you enshrine this legally, where is the point where you then find yourself regulating like abusive cults that
Oh
sort
my
of
god.
gaslight people into going there? Or
the Nazi station.
yeah, or the Nazi station. Like even if
no,
it's
no,
just the Nazi station, right?
You're
Yeah.
thinking too obviously. I'm so fucking ready for the anarcho-primitivist space station.
But that's based though.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But there again, well, okay, so you don't have anarcho-primitivist space station. A kid is born there. It dies of an easily preventable illness because of the anarcho-primitivism of it. Do we at that point have a moral obligation to violate their sovereignty? And does that not get rid of the point of the whole issue, right? What authority is invested in us to do that? And also, I think the core of the issue was that lone wolves could become much more destructive if they have access to better technology, if you can build a nuke in your home, and that's still something I am a bit scared of.
Also, there's two things that are worth mentioning. The first one, I'm going to pause so I can think. The first one is, if that was the case, then the kind of the flow of ideas and actually like arguments wouldn't happen anymore. And there's value lost there, I think.
Yeah.
If everyone could just live in their own utopia. And the other thing is that only works for a generation, because the next generation might not want to live in that.
Yeah, but then they make a new utopia, and then you have a bunch of like old this empty space stations that are museums to ancient.
Oh my
utopias that no
god,
longer
the communists, lib-right revolving door space station. Let's go.
It's just one space station that's like two combined.
Artists
together.
produce nothing of that. I mean, you would actually have that because you want two O'Neill cylinders spinning against each other so they can remain in stable orbits. So you'd have the. That would be a perfect, from an engineering standpoint, that would be a perfect combination. Artists produce nothing of value. That's, I think, stupid. Well, yeah, where I said that statement is stupid. And would you look at the time? It's time to end the stream.
Dang.
Would you look? Thank you
Wow.
very much for watching. My dick is big.
And what about
Okay.